Okay. Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Before we begin the class, I just want to remind everybody of a couple of new classes coming up, books that you need to order. I did post up some advertisement today that me and Sister Jean-Louis worked together on. The new class that's going to be starting up on Thursday is taken from the book written by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. Everybody wants to go and order that. You can go online. This is his new book. It's called, if I got it, it's called Not One of Us. Do you guys see this? Let me, I did this morning. Sheikh Atli did respond to my email, by the way. You know, I'm blocked for whatever reasons, but he sent me my PDF. So that's the book, and that's how the book looks. Not One of Us. This is a magnificent masterpiece that he's written. I checked it over. I skimmed through the PDF. You guys will not be getting the PDF. You'll be getting the real book. It needs to be a part of your library. What he did in this book is he went through the Sitta, and got the authentic hadiths, collected them out of the Sitta, and he compiled all the hadiths that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that if we indulged in these type of actions, if we indulged in this type of behavior, it will take us out of Islam. You will not be one of us. That's the name. Not one of us. You may think that you're one of us. You may think that you're a Muslim. You may think that you're living the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but in reality, you are not. This is a masterpiece. And Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli, if you're listening to me, may Allah bless you again for putting this book together, because we will be teaching it beginning Thursday. And what I want everybody to do is go to Atli online. The book is only $4. You can't beat that. The book is only $4. Order the book today so you can have it, at least by next week. You might miss the first hadith, but you will be able to participate with the second. This is called Not One of Us. That's how it looks. It's on his website, atlionline.com. Please order this book today, because I will begin this series on Thursday. And as you guys know, I can break it down. The hadiths are excellent. I'm going to break them down to you in plain, simple English terms so that you can understand them. Okay, so that's the first book that everybody needs to order. Not One of Us. And also termites. As you all know, we begin the series on the termites tonight. That's at 9 p.m. If you have not yet purchased the book, Termites, it's a PDF. It's only $2. What's the excuse? Even those of you who live in Europe and Africa, you can download the PDF. Go to www.atlionline.com and order the PDF entitled Termites. I think I got a thing for that here. Yeah, here it is. Let me put that thing on the screen here. Order the PDF Termites at www.atlionline.com. That class is held today and every other Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And also order this book that you see here called Not One of Us. It's only $4. I will begin that series on Thursday, inshallah. Okay, everybody clear on what books to get? Everybody clear? People on Zoom, people on YouTube, y'all clear on which books to order? And of course, you need to order the book that we're learning from Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid, Diluting. That's the class we have right now, Diluting Wala wa Bara. This is from his trilogy, his Aqidah trilogy. Okay, I'm trying to move around to get this off the screen. I forgot how I put it up. Wait a minute, guys. Where is this at? Where did I put this at? Hold on, I can't take it off. Oh, here it is. Okay, now how do I put me back? Okay, so those are the books that you guys need to order. Okay, so and also just to let you guys know, Wednesday I will begin the story from the heroines of Islam, the story of Hafsa radiallahu anha, who was one of the next wives of the Prophet. Here's a little thing I put together about her too.
She was said to be devout in her religious duties, an excellent orator, writer, warrior. The daughter of Umar bin Khattab, a trusted and loved companion of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Her name is Hafsa bint Umar. Tune in every Monday and Wednesday 9 p.m. Eastern as your host lailanasheeba once again dives into the lives of these prolific women in Islam. Catch it right here on Sunnahfollowers.
Okay, so that's the Wednesday class from the heroines of Islam. Since we completed the series on Aisha radiallahu anha, we're going to go to the next wife who he married after. He married her not too long after he married Aisha, but they became very good friends. Hafsa, who was the daughter of Umar, and as you could hear in that presentation, Hafsa was a warrior. She was a good warrior like her father. Her father and brothers trained her. Ibn Umar and them trained. She was trained. She could wield a sword. She could wield a bow and arrow. She could take you down too. Oh yeah, like I told you guys, this misconception that the world has, that the Muslim Western world has about Arab women is bad. Because the Arab women were warriors, just like the men. They were a warrior race. They may not be that way now. They may be too wussy now, but they were warriors back in the day. And Hafsa, you're going to be surprised at how great a warrior she was. She's like a father. Don't mess with Hafsa. She'll take you out. So wait till you guys hear her story. Inshallah, you're going to really enjoy that. You know, so that's Wednesday. And tomorrow, yes, as one of the sisters is asking, tomorrow is my cousin Mukhtar. Mukhtar's doing the Caliphate of Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu. So you want to be here for his lecture tomorrow at 6. Yeah, that's tomorrow. Yeah, I'm reading your comments. Mashallah, everybody is, what is this, Brother Bilal? Mashallah, Brother Bilal. He's on Twitch. Brother Bilal just said that he is so happy to finally find some khatib who are speaking about the companions, female and male, because he said he has daughters. Yes. Yeah, and your daughters need to learn. I'm teaching about the female heroines. And then you have my cousin Mukhtar doing the male heroes. You know, when we grew up, when me and Mukhtar grew up, subhanAllah, we're from the same Islamic community. You know, we were from the original Darul Islam movement, okay? And when we grew up, the Muslims were just not, Islam was just really kicking off here in America. We didn't have Muslim schools and stores and all that back in when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, okay? So our parents had us pick role models. My mother had me pick a female companion to try to emulate and to be like, and mine was Aisha radiallahu anha, you know, for many reasons. Okay, and Mukhtar had his too. So this is what you guys need to do with your kids. You know, we're speaking about allegiance. You know, in order to be a believer, you have to have allegiance to Allah, allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, allegiance to the believers. Most Muslims don't have allegiance to the Prophet because they don't know anything about him. How can you love someone that you know nothing about? How can you be loyal to someone that you don't know nothing about? Well, it's the obligation upon you parents, you know, to teach your children about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and teach them about his companions. so they can develop a closeness to them, like I had when I was a kid, like Mukhtar had when he was a kid. Okay, because those are our heroes. Subhanallah, better than Batman and Robin, better than Wonder Woman. You know, Aisha radiallahu anha could run rings around Wonder Woman. Subhanallah. You know, so this is something. So alhamdulillah, Brother Bilal. Yeah, that's one thing here at Sunnahfollowers. We're focusing on aqidah, which is the belief system, making sure that you guys have the correct belief system, because without the correct belief system, none of your good deeds are accepted. And then we're trying to work on that Muhammadur Rasulullah aspect of the Shahada, which is making sure your allegiance is intact and your love for Allah, for the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his companions, and all that is intact here at Sunnahfollowers. Okay, so let's get started with this class. And this is our first class of today. And this is the class on allegiance. Everyone should have that book. If you don't have the book, you need to you go to Amazon.com and get it. It should be a part of your library at home. And we are now in chapter 5 of this beautiful masterpiece that Sheikh Karim Abu Zayd put together. Yeah, him and Sheikh Atlee both came up with some good masterpieces. Sheikh Karim Abu Zayd's books on Aqidah, and then Sheikh Atlee's hadiths. Oh my God, that's all you need. Buy Sheikh Karim Abu Zayd's books on Aqidah. By the way, Karim Abu Zayd also has a book on the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, if you guys want, I would highly recommend that book too. Because I was looking at his book that he put together a seerah on the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's on Amazon too. You guys might want to order that. Okay, it's very well put together. And yes, I'm always advertising the brothers, and they don't mention my website, do they? No, the sisters say, Layla, you always advertising these brothers, and they don't never mention you or your website. No, they don't. That's just life, but who cares? As long as we're mentioned by the angels, that's all that matters. As long as the angels mention us to Allah, that's all that matters. But I do tell you guys, Sheikh Karim Abu Zayd's book on the life of the Prophet is excellent. I would highly recommend that you guys order that off of Amazon too. His books on Aqidah and then let Sheikh Atlee's books on hadith books. That's all you need. Of course, a teacher such as myself to help guide you and teach you and explain and break things down to you. Alhamdulillah. Because you can't teach, you can't buy these books and read them on your own and think that you're going to walk away understanding things. You have to have a teacher to guide you and explain the history and make it more simpler for you. Okay. Well, in this book, we're on chapter 5. And let me tell you about this chapter. This chapter is great because what Sheikh Karim Abu Zayd does here is he explains what so many Muslims suffer with today, which is the understanding of what does it mean to love and hate for the sake of Allah. I remember about 30 years ago, back in the day when MySpace was rampant, you know, I had a lot of Muslim women join me from MySpace. And I was trying to teach them, these were new shahadas, and I was trying to teach them Aqidah, like I'm doing now, the same classes I'm teaching now, nothing's changed. And I had to explain to these sisters that hate is a part of faith. And I remember they got so angry with me because many of them were Christians. And even though they had converted to Islam, many converted because they married Arabic men. But their heart wasn't really into it. Okay. And they argued with me and told me God is love. God is not hate. And I was a deviant. And oh my God, they slandered me and went crazy on me. Okay. This is something that even to this day, 30 years later, I still can't get Muslims to understand that hate is a component of faith. Not only do we love for the sake of Allah, but we have to learn to hate for the sake of Allah too. But what it is, Muslims don't understand the concept of hate, because hating for the sake of Allah is not personal. And that's what Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid embarks upon in this chapter. Let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And by the way, I put the PowerPoint together at the same time that I was making the videos and reels to advertise. So bear with me. I tried to make the English as simple as possible for you guys, but I might have missed a few words here and there. But if so, I'll explain them as we go along. But this is chapter 5, the origins of loyalty or allegiance to Allah and disassociation. How the origins consist of having love and hate for the sake of Allah. Oh, here you go. Now you can see. You guys can see now? Yeah, I think I'm sharing. Okay, there it is. Thank you for letting me know. Because the people in Zoom ain't saying nothing, Lord have mercy. Thank God I was looking at my phone. She texted me and said she couldn't see. Okay, mashallah. So we're going to speak about love and hate for the sake of Allah. And let's see how Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid starts this off. Okay, let me move this out my way so I can see. Okay, love and hate are two powerful emotions. But still, guys, they are the origins of the principles of al-wala wal-bara, allegiance and disassociation. In Islam, the heart, and this is something that we've talked about in many of my hadith classes. You know, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that the heart is considered the center of our emotions. The heart is the home of our intentions. And that's why the Prophet said a person's faith, he says, whatever is in the heart will show through your actions, because the heart is the center of our emotions and our intentions. And as a result of that, it plays a significant part in determining our actions and our interactions. So the actions and movements of the limbs reveal the heart's true condition. And this is why I'm always reminding the new shahadas. I'm on the channel here on Facebook with a group of new converts. I keep telling you, stop using the name revert and maybe your faith will grow. You're not a revert. You're not reverting back to a ignorant child that comes in the world dependent on Allah. You are converting to a new belief system. Revert means to go back to your original form or original substance of nothing. Convert, look at the meaning. It means to embrace a new ideology. It means to embrace a new way of life. It means to embrace a new way of thinking and living. That's what you're doing. You've become Muslim. You've embraced a new way of life, a new way of thinking, because your parents did not raise you Muslim. As the Prophet said, you know, of course, when we're a piece of flesh, when we're a sperm drop, when we're a fetus, and when we come out dumb and ignorant because we're a baby, of course, you know, you're dependent on Allah. But it's the parents that either raise you to be a fire worshiper or a believing Muslim or a hypocrite or whatnot. So you're converting, not reverting. Okay, we need to stop tearing up the English language like that. You know, Americans, we have this book of slang. By the way, revert is in the Urban Dictionary because it's like polygyny. That's the wrong word too. Polygyny is in the Urban Dictionary too. Some made up stuff by the African Americans. Yeah, you African Americans wrote the Urban Dictionary. Okay. Yeah. You learn that when you go to college and get a degree in English. Okay, but anyway, we have to understand something, guys. A lot of people convert to Islam. And if you see a sister not wearing a hijab, what's the first thing you do? You go up to her, oh, assalamu alaikum, you know, you're so beautiful. Where's your hijab? Oh, it's in my heart. Excuse me? It's in my heart. Only Allah can judge me. You don't know what's in my heart. My faith is in my heart. This is the wrong thing to ever say. Because as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, whatever is in the heart is going to reveal itself through your actions. So looking at the fact that you are standing here in front of me with no clothes on, with a cigarette in your hand, a man on your arm who you say is your boyfriend, that's telling me that you ain't got no faith. Because if you had belief in Allah in your heart, you would fear his punishment. And you would fear his punishment to the point where you'd have some shame and would keep your sins private, not public. Okay? That doesn't mean we go around calling people kafir either, because we don't. They're not a kafir. They're just weak Muslims. So your faith is weak. Your faith is tainted. So I don't want to hear none of the new shahadas say that what's in it's in my heart. Because if it was in your heart, it would show. Whatever is in the heart shows through the limbs of the body. And that's what Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid is stressing here. So as a result, to understand the origins of allegiance and disassociation, you know, if a person truly understands these two concepts, then they would work harder to make sure that what is in their hearts is true. So loyalty or allegiance technically can be defined as love, closeness, helping and supporting others. And this is an emotion that reflects contentment with Allah and his decree, Allah and his commands, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his example, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his commands. Also, you know, allegiance also shows that you have contentment with this religion and you have a desire to want to connect with other Muslims who hold the same beliefs as you. So that's al-wala. I like how Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid broke that explanation down. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you will never be a believer until you love for the sake of Allah. You will never be a true believer, he's saying, until you have love for what Allah loves, allegiance to what Allah has allegiance to, closeness to those things that Allah is close to, and you support those things that Allah want us to support. That's al-wala. Does that make sense? Okay, and I really love how the Sheikh explained this. So this is why, for example, a lot of the new shahadas will tell me here at Sunnahfollowers, once they start coming to my classes, like Sister Elizabeth, mashallah, Elizabeth, Bethany, and Savannah, you know, they've been coming here. Well, Elizabeth has been coming here for over a year, since last Ramadan. Okay. And she said that she's learned so much from this website that now she don't even associate with the friends she used to have. You know, she doesn't have any non-Muslim friends. Now she's seeking out, practicing strong, believing women. She only associates with women who are strong like her, you know, who fear Allah. She feels this pull to those women that are strong. And I can relate to that. That's how I am. Why do you guys think that that I'm close with the people I'm close to? I'm close with Amina Fresno. She's strong. She's strong. That's a woman that's unbreakable. You know, we get close with those people who are strong that can in turn strengthen us. Their strength will rub off on us and keep us from falling back to how we used to be. That's el wala. Okay, the love, the support, the help, the loyalty to those. And so this is why Islam teaches us to love for the sake of Allah. It's not a personal thing. It's about Allah. Allah loves cleanliness, so we love cleanliness. Allah loves justice, so we love justice. Allah loves everything good. We love everything good. So we exhibit this love through the things that we engage upon, such as our deeds. We know that Allah loves fasting, like Aisha, radiallahu anha. Aisha loved to fast because she knew it was something that Allah loved. Okay? Allah loves for us to do voluntary deeds according to our capability. So Aisha, radiallahu anha, would perform the night prayers. Look at Khadija, radiallahu anha. She knew that Allah loved charity. So Khadija was a very rich woman, but she gave all her money, everything she had, to help those who were in need, because she knew this is what Allah loves for us to do. So that's loving for the sake of Allah. We embark upon the good deeds that are pleasing to Allah. We show kindness and compassion to others. Subhanallah, Allah loves kindness. We read the hadith about how the prostitute took off her shoe, filled it with water, and gave it to a dog that was dying of thirst. How Allah was so pleased with this action that he forgave her of that horrendous sin. So if you're a person that has el wala, you're going to be kind to the animals. Like one of my students here, she goes outside and feeds the birds rather than throw away the bread. She said she'll go outside or go to the duck pond and give the bread to the birds, to the ducks. One of the kids here was sharing how he was walking home from school one day, him and another one of his Muslim brothers, and they saw two little boys torturing a dog, throwing rocks at this dog who was injured. The dog had been hit by a car and it couldn't run. It was laying there injured, and the kids were throwing rocks at it. Those two little Muslim boys went and stopped them. They said, "Oh, don't do this to the poor animal. It's in pain enough." And those two little boys, those Muslim boys, called their parent, and their father came, picked the dog up and took it to a vet. Look at that kindness, that compassion for a dog. And when the kid did it, they came and said, "Sister Layla, we thought about the hadith about the woman and the prostitute. Did we get reward for that?" Inshallah, you did. So Allah loves kindness. Allah loves compassion. So we love the things he loves, and we apply these actions to ourselves. We support each other. We give good advice to each other. We accompany each other. This is loving for the sake of Allah. Does everybody understand that? It's not so hard to understand love for the sake of Allah. The thing that's hard for Muslims to understand is having hate for the sake of Allah. Let's talk about that. Bara. Bara. This originates from hatred and resentment. It translates in Arabic to disassociation. That's the word I use. To disassociate. I hate this so bad that I'm going to disassociate from it. I'm not going to have nothing to do with it. And you will never be a believer until you can hate for the sake of Allah. So what does that mean? This is a powerful dislike. This is a powerful rejection. So that means that I hate everything that Allah hates. Allah hates innovation. So I hate it. And I'm going to stay away from it too. Allah hates disobedience. So I hate it. And I'm going to stay away from it. A lot of people say, subhanallah, this brother went to a wedding to support his brother in faith. But when they pulled out the music and everybody got to dancing together on the floor, the brother left. When asked why he left, he said, because I hate what Allah hates. Allah doesn't like that. We're not supposed to dance together, women with men that they're not married to. Allah says this leads to, fornication and other bad things. So I came and supported you at your wedding. But when I saw that the wedding was transgressing the limits of Allah, I got up and left. Because my attachment to Allah is that strong that I hate what he hates. Do y'all understand? This is why we don't party with our co-workers. Our co-workers, when they go out to party at the restaurant, what do? They're going to order drinks. They're going to order some wine. We don't sit at the table with people who drink. We don't go around people who transgress the limits of Allah. So this is why we decline the invitation. Thank you, but no thank you. Even their baby showers. No, I won't come, but I'll send you a gift. Because they're going to engage in things that we don't do, that Allah dislikes. He dislikes music. He dislikes adultery. He dislikes fornication. He dislikes lying, cheating, stealing. So this is Bara. I resent the fact that you don't believe in Allah. It's not personal. I don't like you because you are a non-Muslim, but that doesn't mean I'm going to hurt you. I dislike you because your lifestyle totally contradicts what Allah commands you to do. You say that you're Christian. You say you believe in the 10 commandments, but you're fornicating, you're drinking, you're smoking, you're doing all kind of things. So I resent it to the point where I'm going to distance myself from you, not get involved in that, but it's nothing personal. It's business. That's Bara. Does everybody understand that? Okay. It doesn't mean that we transgress the rights of people. It means that we distance ourselves from anything or anyone that contradicts what Allah says or what his messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said. Does everyone understand that? So Bara, hatred, it's not personal. It includes despising, abandoning, distancing, separating yourself from anything and anyone that Allah and his messenger hates and oppose. Okay? Allah hates innovators. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam hates innovators. So this is why I am not going to attend a conference that has well-known innovators speaking. This is a question that some sister asked me not too long ago. She wanted me to go to one of these conferences with her. I said, who are the speakers? And when she told me who the speakers are, I said, I can't go to that. Why not? I don't sit in the company of people like that. I'm sorry, nothing personal. But Allah hates innovators, and so do I. And a couple of people you mentioned are well-known innovators. I can't be a part of that because I hate what Allah hates. Nothing personal. He's a nice brother. That one right there, he's a nice brother. Some of his dawah is pretty decent, but I cannot support him when he go into that worshiping the dead stuff. So I can't be a part of that. And if that question comes up at that conference, he's going to say that it's okay to make dua to someone who's dead. I can't be a part of that. May Allah guide him. That's hating for the sake of Allah. It's not personal. It's not personal. It's what Allah hates and what the Prophet hates. So when we disassociate, this also includes having hatred that is already present in the heart, but for the right reasons. We're supposed to resent people who innovate. We're supposed to resent people who associate partners with Allah. We're supposed to resent people who are hypocrites. But again, just because I resent it doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and slander that brother, backbite that brother, talk about him in a bad way, or none of that. I think the brother's quite handsome, personally. That's what I told the person I was with. I think he's a good-looking brother. He got some knowledge of the deen. It's just he need to get that Aqidah together about that worshiping the dead. If he could let go of that, I might even consider marrying him. I remember I said that because he's a good-looking dude. Okay, but no. Do y'all understand that? So that doesn't mean that we slander the person and speak bad about the person and none of that crap. Okay, it's all business, not personal. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. O you who believe, whoever from amongst you turns back from his religion, Allah will bring a people whom he will love, and they will love him, and they will be humble towards the believers, but strict and stern with the unbelievers. And they will fight in the way of Allah, and they will never fear the blame of the blamers. This is important. A lot of Muslims today, we do things that we shouldn't do. You know that you shouldn't sit in the company of people who innovate. You know you shouldn't sit in that company, but you do it because you're afraid the people are going to call you a Wahhabi. You're afraid they're going to call you a fanatic. Welcome to my world. I get called all kind of names. I could care less. Alhamdulillah, or being a Wahhabi, that's a compliment. Do you know who Imam Wahhab was and what he did? Subhanallah. It's a compliment to me. Okay? The people who really believe in Allah and fear his punishment, they fear him, not what people think. They could care less what you say about them, what you think about them. They know it's all about earning the love of Allah, not the love of the people. And this is something that we need to emphasize with our children. So that verse reveals a profound, deep message for us. And it serves as a reminder of Allah's promise that he will replace anyone who turns away from their religion with the people whom he will love and who in turn will love him. So again, you're hurting yourself. You're not hurting Allah. When we reject Allah's laws, when we reject Allah's commands, we're not hurting him. When you don't pray, when you don't fast, when you don't wear hijab, you're not hurting Allah. You're just hurting yourself. You're taking yourself further and further away from him. And he'll end up assigning an extra jinn to you, and he'll replace you with somebody better who does believe in him. Okay? So that verse is something that I tell the kids here at Sunnahfollowers to ponder the meaning of too. We have to understand that Allah will always establish a community of devoted believers who will exercise the characteristics of humility, strength, and unwavering commitment to his cause. There'll always be a handful. Like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Islam will become strange Each generation of Muslims will become further and further and further away from the truth, to the point where search throughout the land, you will find many people that call themselves Muslims, but only a handful of true believers. There'll always be a handful. You want to be amongst that handful, not those big numbers. Does everybody understand that? You know, so Allah lets us know in that verse that he will always establish a community of devout believers who will live and honor and have the characteristics of humility, strength, and commitment to his cause. Okay? Also in that verse, Allah tells us the characteristics of the believers include bravery. Bravery in the face of criticism. Also, humility towards the other believers, but strictness, harshness towards those who don't believe. You know, one of the complaints that I've always gotten, I've been teaching on this internet since 1986. A lot of people ask me, Sister Layla, why is your cousin in real life, when they meet me in real life, I'm not this harsh. I'm really a shy person. The people that know me in real life will tell you Layla has anxiety and she's really shy. I put up a tough exterior on this internet. In real life, I'm more quiet and I'm more withdrawn. But I can't be that way on the internet. Why? Because I have a lot of hypocrites and a lot of unbelievers that come here trying to debate with me, trying to attack me, trying to disprove, you know, my teachings. So I have to be strong as a female, number one, and I have to put up this exterior that I'm tough, that I'm unshakable. I have to put the buffalo stance on. That's why I don't smile in my pictures. I have to maintain the buffalo stance. Because I have to be stern with the hypocrites. I have to be stern with the unbelievers. And there's more of them than there are good people here. The good people in my Zoom room. And I know that. But on these other social platforms, I have a lot of people there that types and is here to try to take me out, take me down. So this is the verse. You know, I'm humble. Y'all see how nice and how I joke and play with the people here that are true. But for those I don't know you. I have to be stern. I have to buffalo stance you. Okay? Does everybody understand that? And that's what this verse is speaking about. It's all about our determination to battle in the way of Allah. The believers, who are the believers? They have humility with other believers, but they're stern with those who don't believe. And they're this way because they are determined to battle in the way of Allah. Okay? And we do not waver in our commitment to preserving the ideals of Islam, even if doing so leads to conflicts within society. There's another dawah that I care deeply about, greatly for. That dawah is doing the same thing that I'm doing, but on a larger scale, because that dawah is of a more popular than me. And that dawah, you know, is being attacked. That dawah is being attacked because that dawah refuses to conform to society. That dawah refuses to conform, you know, to the weak people who want to water down Islam, who want to censor Islam. That dawah said, I'll fight to the end. I'm not going to renege on Allah's beliefs and because of a fear of the people. Well, that dawah is just like me. Those of us, you know, who are committed to this, we're not going to back down. That dawah is doing jihad in one way, and I'm doing jihad in another way. This is the life of the dawah. Then you got people like Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd doing jihad his way, trying to get the belief system out. Then you got men like Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli doing jihad his way, trying to get these hadiths out. So, you know, there'll always be a handful. There'll always be a handful of us trying to keep this religion intact. Okay? Also, that verse serves as an inspiration for the believers because it reminds us of Allah's love and his support for us. That no matter what obstacles we face, no matter what obstacle I'm facing here on the internet with my dawah, no matter what obstacles the other daya is facing where that person is with the society, no matter what obstacles Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd may be facing, no matter what obstacles Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli may be facing, subhanallah, we know that we're protected. We know that we are under the protection of Allah, and that inspires us, that makes us continue on in our endeavor, that gives me personally the encouragement to wake up every day, put on my clothes and get on here and teach another lesson. You know, that encourages us because we know that Allah is with us. We're under his umbrella of protection, and we're doing this for him. That verse is a great inspiration for us. In addition, that verse inspires all followers of Islam to work on bettering the condition of themselves, to work on improving in their modesty, improving in their bravery, improving in their dedication. It also inspires all Muslims to push themselves to achieve the highest level of excellence in their commitment to Islam. That verse is so powerful. Allah said, if you don't, he can replace you, and he will replace you. If you don't love him, he will replace you with someone who will. That should motivate you to be the best you can be, the best Muslim you should be. For you new shahadas, that verse should motivate you sisters to put your hijabs on and start dressing like I'm dressing in abayas. I'm not talking about tight fitting pants. I mean, it makes me sick when I go out the house to get me a Starbucks and I see Muslim women, you know, Arabic women and non-Arabic women, because I live around a lot of Arabs, you know, and these tight pants with little tops showing their breasts, little mammy rags wrapped around with half the hair showing out. I mean, come on. This verse should inspire you to be the best. Because again, when we sacrifice for Allah and strive for him, he puts us under his protection. Like Ali, when Ali radiallahu anhu was the leader of the Muslims and he was fighting against the army of Muawiyah. May Allah bless them both and forgive them both for their sins. Okay. When Ali wanted to go out aside of his tent to answer the call of nature, two men came with him. He said, wait, what is this? They said, oh, Amir of the Muslims, we don't want you going out there alone because somebody might attack you. Ali looked at them and he said, don't you know that I have two angels assigned to the front of me and two angels assigned to the back of me? Their job is to protect me from whatever is not meant to happen to me. If it's meant to happen, it will. If it ain't, those angels will protect me. And he pushed the two men away and walked out the tent to answer the call of nature. When I was speaking to this other daya today, who means a lot to me, that other daya, I was telling that other daya, I said, I know what you're embarking upon. You know, I'm embarking upon it too. We're doing some serious jihad, guys. And I told that person, be careful, watch your back. And that person said, you ain't got to worry. He said, remember, I have those angels assigned to the front of me and to the back of me, and they will protect me against whatever is not meant for me. And I said, true that. And I said, and you are under the protection of Allah. And you got my door. And that's how we roll. That's how we roll. We don't care about the unbelievers not liking us. Too many of you Muslim sisters won't wear hijab. You won't cover your body because you're too concerned with what the non-Muslims are going to think of you. What do you care? While you walking around looking like a polyander, the non-Muslims are praising me. When I walk past those Arab women with those tight pants on, the Kafirs come to me and say, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Where are you from? It's a shame what Trump did. They always throw in Trump. I said, what do you mean? It's a shame what Trump did to Syria. That's what they'll say. Or today, oh, I heard what happened over there in Morocco, that's a shame. And the Muslim women with the tight jeans walking past, they could care less. I mean, come on. Subhanallah, wala, wala, wal bara, allegiance to Allah, disassociation from that which opposes him. Also, this verse encourages resiliency and confidence in the believers by telling us that the mercy of Allah is sufficient. That's all you need. It's all about him, not nobody else. So this is how you can walk out the house dressed in an abaya and a khimar like me with my head up high. And then the Arab women around me with tight pants and little shirts with their breasts and little khimar with half the hair out, the way they are. They have and they hold their head down. When they look at me, they pretend they don't see me. They don't even want to give salams. They're embarrassed. They're ashamed. They do this. But I walk tall and I say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Then they'll look up. Then they'll do a double take. Are you lailanasheeba? Yes. How are you, sister? And I try to make them feel nice. Well, where's your khimar? Oh, Sister Layla, I know. I'm going to start wearing one. Oh, my God. And you look just like you look on TV. Oh, you're so pretty. Subhanallah. That's dawah. Through our behavior. That confidence, that resilience, all that comes from that one verse of the Quran, because you are living your life, meeting the requirements that Allah has put in place for us. And finally, that verse serves as a reminder that Allah knows everything. He's aware of our problems. He's aware of whether or not we're fake. He's aware of everything, and he will continue to guide and assist us as we travel down our different paths in life. So that one verse of the Quran, guys, is something that we need to ponder the meaning of and try to live by it. And again, when it comes to loving and hating for the sake of Allah, it's balanced. Remember, I tell you guys, as Muslims, we're people of dignity, humility, and balance. It's not personal. My love and hate is not personal. It's business and it's balanced. I don't hate you too bad to the point I'm going to hurt you. I don't love you so much that I refuse to acknowledge your faults and correct you when you need to be corrected. We are a people of balance. Does everybody understand that? So again, the fact that these two terms come from love and hate, it has to be balanced, not for worldly gain, not for a personal gain, but because it's something that Allah loves or Allah hates. So we love moderately. You remember, guys, that hadith, whereas the angel Jibril, radiallahu anha, came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam one day and told him, he said, "Oh Muhammad, love who you will, because one day they will eventually die." Okay, we have to be moderate. I don't want to love you to the point where I can't live without you. We're so caught up in TV. I love you. You're part of me. I love you with my soul. But it's balanced. If something happened to you, yes, I'm going to grieve you, but I'll be able to pick myself up and continue on in life, because this is something that we have to do. So it's balance. My hatred. I hate the fact that this person here is an innovator. But maybe that person will give up his innovation. Maybe that person will wake up one day before he dies and realizes, wow, I've been teaching Islam for 100 years. And it just hit me. The dead can't hear me. The dead can't see me. Like Allah says, how could I have been a fool? So I renege on all of that. And then what that brother does, and we have to take him into the folds. He's no longer an innovator. We have to welcome him back into the folds of Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight path, the clear path. So this is why Islam teaches us to be moderate. Okay, so, and also when we love and hate, our love and hate must be in accordance to the guidelines and practices of Allah through the Quran and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For example, we're supposed to love the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam even more than ourselves. But do I love him to the point where I'm going to celebrate his birthday? No, because now this is transgressing the limitations of Allah. I am now putting the Prophet Muhammad on the same level as Allah. That's worship. We don't worship anyone but Allah. So my love for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is strong, but it's moderate. My love for him is not so great that I'm going to transgress Allah and put him on that level. The same with my love for Aisha, radiallahu anha, my love for Khadijah, my love for all the companions. I love them all. But I'm not going to take the ruling of Ibn Abbas over the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said there's only one moon. When the moon has been sighted during the month of Ramadan by one reliable person, that one reliable person has seen it for the whole ummah, the whole nation. I understand why Ibn Abbas went for a local sighting that one time, because of the war between Muawiyah and Aisha against Ali. I understand why Ibn Abbas used his own ijtihad to go with a local sighting. But can I say that because Ibn Abbas did that one time, that we can, all the Muslims in the world every year can look for their own, can choose to use a local sighting? No. My love for Ibn Abbas does not supersede my love for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet Muhammad said, one sighting, one moon, one nation, one God, one Allah, in other words. So again, we have to be balanced in our love and balanced in our hate, because if we're not balanced, we can end up falling into sin. Okay? Listen to what Umar said. Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, said the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do not exaggerate my status as the Christians did with the son of Mary. I am just a servant of Allah, so refer to me as the servant and messenger of Allah. The Prophet told the people, don't do to me what they did to Jesus and celebrate my birth. But despite the fact that the Prophet Muhammad said that, we got stupid Muslims today who not only celebrate birthday of the Prophet, but their own birthdays too. Shame on you, Muslims. And also, guys, we talk about allegiance. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, help your brother, whether he is an oppressor or he's being oppressed. The companions asked him, how can you help a person if he is being an oppressor? The prophet said, by stopping him. It's our job as dawah to speak out when we see the Muslims transgressing the limits. It's my job to let you guys know birthdays are haram, because this is worshiping something other than Allah. It's my job as a dawah, to say celebrating your own birthday is haram. Celebrating any of these holidays, they may not be haram, but it's a matter of allegiance. Your allegiance is supposed to be to the prophet and the believers, not to some kafirs. So balance in our love, balance in our hatred. And again, our hatred means I'm not going to hurt you because that person's a kafir next door. I'm not going to break in his house, steal his TV. Because that person is a kafir. If I see a Muslim bust his window, I'm not going to lie for the Muslim and say, oh, he didn't do it. We have to stand up for justice, guys, even if it be against ourselves. Remember, Allah says in the Quran, in the interpretation of the meaning, do not allow the hatred that you have for others to incite you to commit injustice. So that verse right there is a powerful reminder for us to maintain control over our emotions and our behaviors in the face of hatred. Don't allow your hatred to get personal. We have to maintain justice, even if it's against ourselves. So this is where we are in chapter 5 right now. And I'm going to stop right here. I really give accolades. I send accolades to Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd for breaking this down. He did a wonderful job detailing and explaining what love and hate for the sake of Allah entails. All right, I'm going to stop right here.